Hello, hello, hello. I am in a better mood now. I'm in a giddy mood. And the light is more complimentary today, which is nice. And so I have a couple of things to talk about. And I will talk about these things for the next couple of videos because I am inspired. I'm inspired by Jimmy Donaldson. I will talk about this man for the rest of my life now. Probably in almost every video. If I, unless it's something that has to do with some very specific theme, like foot spa or whatever. But he will be in almost every video or in a lot of videos that I make. So that's for sure, because I can't stop thinking about him. So I got something here. I found an ear. Actually, it's like this, or like this here. This here. Uh-huh. Yeah. An entire ear jewelry piece. Not just an earring, but the entire ear is covered with an ear-shaped rock. This is a good photo here, actually. This is nice. I like this. This is good. This is really good. My hair stands up a little bit. So, I found this at the ocean a couple of weeks ago. This is a mother of pearl. I already talked about this in my video. I washed it now, and I washed it completely, scrubbed it completely clean. But it still looks dirty, but that is the natural color. This used to be a seashell, okay, and it has crystallized even more. Seashells already, they're made with some kind of minerals that this slug, is a sea slug, creates that. Some kind of sea slug, I guess, excretes these crystalline minerals. And then, particularly on the inside, it is mother of pearl material that is very iridescently shining. This one is not, because it had been tumbled to the ocean for at least 1 million years. But when you find new ones, then, and I don't recommend to people to pry them open. If they are closed, please put it back in the ocean, because then that sea slug is still inside, creating mother of pearl. And I guess that's also a house for it and a nest, and it lays eggs, I guess, in that, and then they hatch and come out of that, of this housing. So, but when you find a closed one, don't pry it open, put it back in the ocean, and don't harass an octopus baby that is using those as a house. Sometimes they use those seashells as a hiding place. I've seen people harass little octopus babies. Please put them back into the tide pools or in the ocean where they feel safe. The octopuses are very, very evolved. Much more evolved than that sea slug that creates these here. So octopuses have evolved from a nematode, as we have as well, but the evolution has gone parallel to ours. we have branched off at a very early stage from octopuses. We've branched off maybe 2 billion years ago, when there were our common ancestors in the ocean slugs, ocean flukes, maybe, probably, ocean flatworms that propelled themselves like this, and then from there they branched off into our lineage and into the octopus lineage. And this here is yet another branch. Okay, so and they're parallel too, but they have not evolved into into a highly sentient, intelligent being. So they're still at a more rudimentary stage, and that's okay too. So don't pry this open. They want to live too. But this here is from seashells that had broken apart 1 million years ago, and then they were probably much bigger, these pieces, and then they tumbled through the ocean, and then through a lot of tumbling, sanding, through grinding against sand and other rocks, it has become a human ear in mineral form, a petrified human ear. But it's obviously not a petrified human ear. That may exist too. So some prehistoric person that fell into a bog, and then the bog mineralized everything, every cell, and then petrified that mummified thing. And that happened a lot. That's how they find missing links, through petrified animals that had fallen into bogs. And then the bogs have been squished down by other earth sedimentation layers over millions of years, and then preserved and mineralized, petrified, where every cell, every biological matter had been then replaced by crystals, by minerals. And that's how some of these skeletons, or even mummified animals, have been dug up and found, like almost completely preserved. One of our missing links is Eta. I talked about this before. That was a tree climbing lemur on our lineage 47 million years ago in the area that is Germany today. A female, a baby lemur fell into a bog and got preserved that way, and all the other ones are gone. They have been dissolved, okay, over the years. And so this one was found, and it was found about 200 years ago in Germany, in a bog area, and handed down from one person to another. And very interesting. So then they also did DNA testing on it, and they could see from the jawline and from the particular incisor teeth that they are on the human lineage. They're lemurs, tree climbing lemurs on the human lineage, about 2 feet long, including the tail, I think. So yeah, they're on our lineage. They're our ancestors. That's one of the missing links. Okay, they found many more missing links that were placed in that big puzzle of evolution, the evolutionary scale, from one particular point in history to today. So Very interesting. But yeah, there are many animals that have evolved alongside us, not on our lineage, like this here, or the octopus. And the octopus are equally sentient to humans and highly intelligent. Most people don't even know that. Okay, so it's absolutely brutal and cruel to harass an octopus. They have a really large brain, okay, and that brain is more liquid and more rubbery than our brain is, because they have to squeeze themselves into really tight-fitting crevices sometimes in order to get through caves, underwater caves. So they explore all that, they explore an underwater maze garden, and for that they have to be able to squish themselves, and they consist mainly of water. We too have a very high percentage of water in us, so, but we're more condensed, so with other things, with bone material and with fat and all kinds of stuff, skin tissue that is more condensed than the skin tissue in an aquatic animal like the octopus. So this is also a very squishy animal, a slug type of animal that creates mother of pearl. They create actual pearls. I guess they find something in the ocean that they take into this housing, and then they engulf that with the mother of pearl material, and then that's how some of them contain actual round spheres that are shiny and iridescent, and people take that out of the ocean and make necklaces out of it, which is really, really unethical. So, but finding something like this and putting that onto your skin like this is good. I don't drill holes into something like this so that I can hang it around my neck. I would make a necklace. I decided that if I ever find a piece like this or any kind of rock that has already a hole in it, for whatever reason, sometimes there are coral pieces, or sometimes they have been ground down like that. I don't know what happens that causes some rocks to have actual holes. I found those before, but they're a little bit bulky to hang around the neck, but we picked some of those up. But if I ever find one in this size or smaller with a hole in it, then I will hang that around my neck. I will use that as jewelry. So I will put one of those phone cord shoelaces through it and hang that around my neck. That's what feels really, really nice on the skin. And it's nice how the sun is helping me with this video right now. How the sun is shining in just right there and illuminating the mother of pearl. And it fits really nicely into this dip here. It's very nice. That feels good. So I don't dare to, I have to lean back like this to make the video so it doesn't fall off. But I know that I will forget, and then it will fall on my computer. So maybe I can put it like this so it will fall down into my décolleté. But no, it feels really good on my skin like this. Really, really amazing. Wonderful. I absolutely love it. And it has this pink purplish spot on there. This is really nice. And then I saw yesterday it even has a piece of, you can see right here, it has like a copper piece. Copper. Let's see if I can get the sun to illuminate this. Yeah. I don't know if this shows. There's an orange spot on there, and I saw it last night in the lamplight that it sparkles. It's some kind of copper or something. Or pyrite. Pyrite is a very sparkly metal sometimes that sometimes forms or attaches molecularly onto other minerals and rocks. It's very nice. Very, very, very nice piece of jewelry. This is a real present from the infinite cosmos. Fantastic, beautiful. Thank you, Blue God, for all of this, for all of these treasures that we find. And I'm so grateful for everything. So I will make another specifically just for that subject a video tomorrow, and I will talk about recycling and reusing. So I make artwork out of old stuff that we would normally throw away, or stuff that we would cut up and then bring to the recycling center. It's good to recycle. Paul always recycles. I have OCD with that, so I can't touch all of that because of my OCD, but he does that in a very dedicated way, and I'm grateful to him for that. So it's good to recycle. But you can also use cardboard boxes to make artwork with it. So Jimmy Donaldson and his friends, Mr. Beast, they made a fortress out of cardboard boxes, and that's awesome. So, but they were loosely assembled, and then they were having fun with that and playing around, and that's very nice to do this. Very nice. So I mean, it would be better to bring it to the recycling center after you play around with it, rather than incinerating it. But I mean, it's not a big deal to incinerate it. It's not a terrible problem, but it would be better because it does contribute to greenhouse gases. So I personally, I don't want to incinerate anything anymore. I don't even want to light the candles that we have there in the cabinet. I don't even want to light the candles anymore. I did a lot of pyromaniac stuff just last Christmas. On last Christmas, just a year ago, I did a bunch of, I even burned a hole into the table. And then I decided, nah, after that, I had to live out some more of my child needs, to play around with this. In Germany we call it kokeln. Kokeln, like charcoaling, sort of. This word related to that. So, but no, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to incinerate anything anymore. Okay. I don't want to play with fire at all anymore. I don't want to light a candle anymore. I don't want to light an incense. I don't want to burn anything. I don't want to burn an old letter that I don't like. In the past, when I was 18, no, I was 16. We were on a ski trip in Austria. And I had my German passport with me, and I looked at the photo and I was appalled. I was so incredibly appalled by the photo in my passport that I burned the whole passport. And then they didn't check every passport on the way back in. So, and I told my parents I lost the passport. I got a new passport. That was not good to burn that passport there. All these other people, they stood around and they were shocked that I would be doing something like this. It's totally out. It's insane to do something. And also that photo, that was some kind of, that consisted of chemicals back in the past. Photos consisted of chemicals. That's not good to burn something like that. Different plastics and stuff like that, and acids that were in there. No, that's not good. So I take photos digitally on the internet, and if I'm getting tired of them or have a second thought about them, I delete them. That's so much more practical. That's better for the environment. It really is, So this feels so good on my skin. It's amazing. That's really great. That's good. Oh yeah. It's a beautiful ear. Oh yeah. So now tomorrow I'm gonna make more extensive video specifically dedicated for that subject. I don't want to jumble too many things into one video. So this is dedicated to this beautiful crystalline human ear, this video. But I always get into other subjects too. But tomorrow I want to specifically talk about reusing old stuff, particularly reusing old stuff that would really end up in the landfill. So recycling stuff. They also recycle styrofoam now, so these pieces here, they could have been recycled, but I made alien spaceships out of them, and they are awesome. So it's okay to do that, but it would be even more amazing to take something that can't be recycled, that would normally end up in the landfill. So I think even old fabrics can be recycled there. I have seen fabric bins somewhere in LA. Where was that? I forgot now where it was. But I think it was near San Francisco, where you can put old fabrics in it and then they recycle that. And if the stuff is still good, they'll give that to homeless shelters and stuff like that. So reused and recycled. It's very good. I think almost everything could be recycled actually, but not too many people recycle. I wish more people would recycle. But so it's okay to make something out of recycling, packaging material that could be recycled, but it's really great to reuse something that would normally end up somewhere on a landfill and just cluttering up the environment. Like, for example, an old office chair. That's hard to sew that apart and then bring that to the recycling center. Almost nobody is going to take the time to do that. So an old office chair that doesn't work anymore, that you can't even sit on it anymore because the springs came up, or it is half chewed by an animal or whatever. So you can make something. You can make an alien spaceship out of old office chairs. And I mean anything, any kind of stuff that you find in your garage that you would normally throw away, you can make an alien spaceship out of, or anything, any art that you would like to make. So anything amazing. So I saw on that PewDiePie's channel, he showed a photo of some people that made a sculpture, a goat out of straw, and that looks really amazing, that sculpture. Really, really amazing artwork. And then they lit it on fire. That's not good. That's not good. That's bad for the environment. That takes food away from animals, and that destroys a beautiful art piece. So that's not good. So I recommend to people to not incinerate anything ever again. That's my plea to the world, you know. Let's live as green as we can. So everyone can live as green as possible. It's definitely doable. So what else did I want to say? Yeah, and then regarding PewDiePie, I saw his channel a couple of years ago. I mean, like, I saw him when I first got on YouTube. I saw his channel like 10 years ago or more, and I was wondering, what is this channel about? Is there a message? So I didn't take the time and the patience to look for the message, because it wasn't like very apparent in the beginning. So he looks like someone I knew from Germany, and like the brother of my best friend, and I like him as a person, and I think he's very nice and sweet and peaceful, but I couldn't really figure out what he was trying to do with that channel. So in terms of content, what is there? Is there a theme? Is there something that a message he wants to convey? And I think he was just playing around, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, you know? So that in itself is funny, you know. So and I know Jimmy likes him a lot, so obviously that's why he said PewDiePie like 20,000 times or something, you know. And he went all out of his way and spent a lot of money to put PewDiePie on billboards, so that PewDiePie can stay the most popular YouTube influencer in the world. And PewDiePie should appreciate it, and he does. I know he does. So I think they like each other, and they should get together. They should meet somewhere, you know, either in Sweden or in the United States. Maybe they have already met. Yeah, they would make good friends. Maybe they would make a good couple. I don't know. You know, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So I watched a couple of Jimmy's videos, and I just love the friendship and the camaraderie, the love they have for each other. And I thought, whether they are bisexual or gay or straight doesn't matter whatsoever. You know, what matters is that they are sweet with each other. That's all that matters. And I just left a longer comment on PewDiePie's channel. I finally subscribed to him because Jimmy told us we need to subscribe to him. So I subscribed to, of course, to Jimmy and to PewDiePie, and I subscribe to anyone who is kind. So then I started to watch a few more of PewDiePie's videos, and he is definitely an eye candy for most women. So most women are subscribed to him just for his looks. obviously. I think he's gorgeous too. I could imagine being with him or being with someone who looks like this. I had a crush on my best friend's brother in the past, so who looks like PewDiePie. So definitely would be my type, but I'm not in love with him, and I am not attracted to him, and I am only attracted to Jimmy. And even if I wasn't attracted to Jimmy, I would not be attracted to PewDiePie, because so that's not the kind of guy that I am really drawn to. So, but drawn to as a friend, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't turn him down or anything if I wasn't already totally head over heels in love with Jimmy. So, but yeah, I mean, that Jimmy is really 150 million% my type. Like really totally. Like really totally. But it is okay to dream, so don't laugh about me. Okay. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, how childish. And Paul mocked me and said, "You with your childhood crushes." Yeah, it is a childhood crush. Okay. And it's okay. There is nothing wrong with it. And I would have a crush on him no matter what he does. He could be straight, he could be bisexual, he could be fully gay, he could be completely not into women. It doesn't matter. He could dress up like a woman. He could let his hair grow long. I would melt, I would so melt. He could paint his fingernails, even if he had veneers on his fingernails, like Jeffree Star. That would still be my number one man. Okay, so that wouldn't matter how he dressed up, dolled himself up, or made himself, or if he dressed up like a biker. It wouldn't matter how he dresses, how he has his beard or no beard, or hair short, or Kim Jong-un haircut even, which I absolutely don't like. It wouldn't matter how he makes himself look like. He is my number one prince. Okay, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And this is a fact. And it's good. It's wonderful. Okay, it's wonderful to be in love with someone you can never have. I've done that many times, and I've suffered in the past. But this year, it doesn't make me suffer. I cried the other day, pitifully. At the other house, I cried for like 8 hours straight. I'm not kidding. Because of this situation. And of course, which brought back, my self-pity over feeling kind of like a prisoner. But I am my own prison guard. I have imprisoned myself. I can walk away here anytime. But first of all, I can't walk away from Paul and the baby dog. Paul is like my dad. The baby dog is my child, my baby. I can't just walk away from them. So if Jimmy accepted me, he would have to accept an entire package deal. He would accept Paul and the baby dog. And so, but that wouldn't be difficult for him to do, They can be accommodated. But, even if they're not accommodated, Paul likes Jimmy too, as an amazing person that he is, okay? And he really is impressed with Jimmy's work for the environment, for the trees, for the oceans, for the dogs. And so any caring person loves Jimmy. Every caring person loves you. Okay? You are a Buddha level soul, and we are infinitely grateful for you to be here in this hellish, pure inferno world of humans. Okay. It takes a lot of guts to exist here, as Seneca said on that suicide prevention Facebook group. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage to just exist. Okay. And that's because a lot of people, I don't know, I would say the majority of people are corrupt. That's why this is a hellish place. If they weren't corrupt, if they could wait out with the 2 M&Ms on the plate, they did these psychological tests. Wait for an hour and get 100 M&Ms, okay? Because they waited and didn't touch the 2 M&Ms that were sitting in front of them for an hour. This is a parable. This is a metaphor that stands for the criminal mind that doesn't have any attention span or any patience to wait or to be nice, to behave nicely, and then have that woman for the rest of his life. No, he has to become an asshole at some point, and the woman walks away, okay? Or with many other things, A criminal will rob a bank because he doesn't have enough patience to make something out of his life and make his own money. So that's that M&M impatience mentality. Okay, so they did extensive psychology tests with people in this regard, and the most shocking tests that have ever been done was definitely the worst one was the prison guard experiment at Stanford, I think it was, conducted by Dr. Philip Zimbardo, and that was in the 70s. That experiment had been repeated several times, but some of these elements that are in there in order to test the people have been removed. So then if you remove these kind of elements in that test, then the test outcome is not going to be very distinct. Okay, that's what makes psychology into a science, obviously. But obviously that test is unethical, definitely, for sure. Because there were test people in that experiment that suffered a great deal from that, so much so that they had to go into therapy afterwards because they were traumatized. So that prison experiment was exactly like what happened in the real world, in this exactly the same way at Guantanamo Bay prison in Afghanistan. Okay. The prison guards there from the United States, they not just signed up for it, they went overboard with it in torturing the prisoners, the POWs. Okay, so, and this prison experiment at Stanford, that consisted of young men that were some of them were from the university, they were students, because some of them were people on the street, And would be also interesting to see the statistics on who wanted to be the prison guard. Or I think, I don't even know if they gave people the option of choosing who is the prison guard or who is the prisoner. I think they just randomly distributed these people in 50% prison guards and 50% prisoners. And then the prisoners went overboard in abusing the prisoners until the girlfriend of Philip Zimbardo finally was able to coerce him, to threaten, or like give him some kind of ultimatum. I don't know what the ultimatum was, but I have the feeling the ultimatum was, if you don't stop this prison experiment now, I'm gonna say bye-bye to you. So Philip Zimbardo gave in, and he said, okay, we have to end the prison guard experiment before the actual timeline was finished. And that experiment, that gives me a lot of anxiety. Okay, so, and I would have done the same if I was with Philip Zimbardo and he would do an experiment like this, and I see how these people are suffering. I would say, okay, you have two options. You either terminate this experiment now, or I'm leaving. And I think that's what she did, and she got them to stop it and rescue these people out of this horrific situation. So, yeah, it goes to show that, and from those people that were assigned to be the prisoners, the prison guards, there were only, I don't know how many people they had, I forgot the exact numbers now, but there was only like 1 or 2 people among those that were playing the prison guards that refused to do any harm to her, or to bully or do any abuse towards the prisoners. I think about maybe 1 out of 200 people. Now that says a lot about the human species, okay? And that's why I say that the human species creates that hellhole situation because of their innate nature of taking advantage of any kind of leverage position, whether that's played or is a job or is the military or actual prison guards. In East Bloc Germany, there were a lot of those that took full advantage of their position as sharpshooters at the border. When someone wanted to get out, when someone climbed over the wall from the eastern part of Germany into the western part of Germany, there were a lot of those that would shoot him dead. Later on, they were interrogated after the wall came down. They were put in prison for that. And they said, I just did my job. That's my job that I was assigned to. Thus it must be okay, right? Wrong. It's not okay. It's not. But there's a lot of people like this, okay? And that makes me worry for the whole world very, very, very much. And I feel often when I'm on the internet, I feel very, very helpful. I feel very helpless. I hope that my comments are helpful. I feel very helpless when I'm on the internet and when I see how people are abusive and cruel And when I see the political situation with so much abuse and so much cruelty, and people using something that they were told is some kind of revolution, and they use this to exploit and explore and plunder and kill. When you see something like this, and if you care, you worry about the world, okay? And so that's why when I see a Buddha level soul coming here to this hellish situation, I am extra infinitely grateful to them. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the video. Take care, peace out, and love for all living beings.